What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
You dead meat!
Go ahead and laugh, you guys. If I ever find a little bastard that did this, they're dead meat.
Hey everybody, I'm here in this very poorly lit hallway to show you the new kill count set. First, I want to show you my commute. This is my bedroom door. So let's go to work. A little podcast for the journey. Oh, we're here. Welcome to the new kill count set. Oh yeah, the wait's been worth it. Yes, this is the brand new kill count set, one of the many things I was working on during my break from hosting the show. As you can see, it's a bit more elaborate than the last few kill count sets. This is actually the 5th kill count set, and I'll go over what the first 4 were in a little bit. But first, I just wanted to show you this incredible space built by GoButton. GoButton built this, they built the new podcast set, and they've also built a bunch of other sets that you've probably seen in other podcasts, including Stone Cold's. They built Stone Cold's podcast, and so now we kind of share a connection, me and Steve. What I wanted to do with the new kill count set was what I wanted to do with the kill count in general. Make a bunch of big changes that the show deserves while still keeping it tethered to what made it the kill count this whole time. So to that end, for the set, I made sure to keep a similar woodsy background, and that's what we have back there. This is a screen printed background that GoButton created. Originally, on the first 2 kill count sets, and then in Zoran's, which was the 4th kill count set, those were backdrop curtains that I purchased from Amazon. They were just regular long window curtains that I think were like spooky woods or whatever. For the 3rd kill count set, which was in this room, we are in my home, our home that we purchased in late 2020, Chelsea recreated that background by painting. And in fact, if you come up here, you can see up there the top of Chelsea's painting. It extended all the way up there. It was the first thing we did when we moved in. Even before we moved in, she was in this room painting that backdrop. She spent like a week on it. It looked amazing. I'm kind of sad that it's covered up now, but it did serve us for a pretty good long time. So moving forward, we just wanted to have a similar thing. But obviously, the biggest addition to the new set is this cabin backdrop that we decided to include to give the space more depth. Instead of me just being against a wall with some shelves in front of it, now we have depth. This is brought out. I'll be standing here with my little markers. You'll see 2 markers there. I'll explain those in a bit. But GoButton created this based on a design that me and Chelsea and our assistant Ben came up with after several drafts. We went back and forth on how much we wanted it to be exposed, how many beams, what we wanted the featured movie shelf. As you can see, this is currently set for Stranger Things, which will be my first kill count coming back. But what's cool about this space is that it'll be used for whatever movie I'm covering, and this shelf can actually come out. So if we had a giant prop, like for instance a Belial in a basket, we could fit him in there and it'd be great. Obviously, Stranger Things doesn't have a Blu-ray release, but this is where the Blu-ray of the movie normally will go of whatever I'm covering. What's really cool about this space, and something that I probably should have done a long time ago, but I never had until now, is having a reference monitor so that I can see what I'm looking at. And this is gonna be super helpful because not only does it let me see if I got something in my teeth, if my hair's messed up, what the limits of the frame are for set dressing, but it also lets me know if the camera happens to die or the card fills up, which has happened way too many times while filming. It's sucked. I've filmed whole episodes and then gone to the camera and just found out that the card ran out 5 minutes in. So this will help avoid that. Really excited about that. As you can see, based on the frame, not every shelf is visible. That's why some of these shelves down here are currently empty or being used for storage. And I'm not entirely 100% done decorating the set just yet. Still got stuff like here, but this is less important because as I'm standing here, you can see that I'm blocking that blank space. So it will be visible when I walk off the camera to the numbers, but it's not dressed now because I want to put the important stuff elsewhere. I want to have a lot of things coming through on the set. Obviously Chucky's hair, his hair's a little messed up, but I really like the way he's kind of prying himself in. We have a face hugger coming down from that corner. Very subtle addition that I'm not sure many people would notice without this video. So we got a gremlin hanging out here. His hand's more visible because it's in the light, but his face is just barely visible if you look at the frame up there. So I liked having that as a little like, wait, oh, I didn't even notice that. We've got weapons hanging up, the hacksaw from Saw, we got the machete signed by Kane Hodder, and obviously we got Freddy's glove. I just wanted to have this thing filled with Easter eggs that people could look for while they're watching videos or rewatching them. Here's a signed portrait of Valak from our good friend Bonnie Aarons. Of course, Billy the Puppet here with the silver bolo tie that we won from the last drive-in with Joe Bob Briggs. We got the classic Jason mask, been there since the beginning, the Dead Meat mask that a fan made, and then just a whole bunch of stuff fan-made and otherwise, like these Funko Pops of me and Chelsea that someone made. What else we got here? A little Blair Witch thing. I think a fan gave us that. Fan definitely gave us this little Babadook and me as a wrestler, which is really fun. But here's the thing. I bet some of you are looking at this and you're like, oh, it's a cool set, but the lighting looks a little off. The color looks weird. Well, let me tell you, this is not the lighting for when I film an episode. Come over here. Let me show you something pretty fucking cool. This is the control center of the whole room. Now, I still have not learned entirely how this works. I still have to do a little tutorial on it. But in the meantime, they made it dummy-proof for me, and I can click this little button that says KC up, and when I do that, we get kill count lighting, baby. Look a little better, look a little bit more like the classic kill count. Yeah, get a shot of that frame there. That's what it's, oh yeah. Also, James Hall, AKA JamesCHATS, my loyal and awesome cameraman, helped me film this video. And by helping, I mean doing it entirely. Thank you, James. But yes, this is the lighting for the kill count. This is what it will look like when I'm filming a kill count. I think it looks great. I had to get, you know, the purple, the kind of magenta back, because that's kind of the kill count flavor. And so again, that just goes with wanting to look like a kill count, even though we've obviously added a lot to it. And in some cases, maybe I added a little too much. I might have gone a little bit overboard with the greenery here. I might make adjustments going forward, but I think this is a pretty good start to something brand new. Now, if you look up, you can see that this is an entire rig. This is mind-blowing to me that this is in my home. This is a professional set. And again, GoButton came in here and they erected all this stuff and built it in 3 days. They came back later for a single 4th day to install that iPad and the system, because here's the other cool thing about this system is that, say for instance, they make a new little shit movie. What I can do is St. Patrick's Day it up and change that background to green instead of the standard kill count forest color, which is more of a mauve. I can turn it neutral if I want to. I can do all sorts of things with it at the touch of a button. So that's really exciting for me to be able to have that kind of customization, because you know I really like to set the mood and tailor it to each specific episode. So I'm gonna turn the lights on, the works setting, which is really just everything, so you can have a better look. Now these are hardcore, industrial, very weight-bearing things. Let me show you. Yeah, oh yeah, look, nothing even moved, nothing even fell, baby. I can do this all day. I can hang from this fucking thing. It's all good, baby. Yeah, haha. Oh, I love hanging around like a monkey. That's really exciting. I do that basically every day. And another thing that I've changed with the kill count is instead of wearing lavs like I'm wearing one right now, which is the visible mic that you attach to your collar, I've actually installed this shotgun mic that comes around and plugs into my sound recorder down here. And I'm just pointing that at my chest, and that's just off frame. I can see that it's not in the camera frame, but now I won't be wired. It'll give me more mobility for me moving around. I'm so excited about To the Numbers bits with all this space. I can do so much in this space. One of the things that I want to do with this room is to have it be multi-purpose. So not only do we have the kill count side of things, obviously, but over here, behind the cameras, we have the interview section of the room. I like doing videos like, what's your favorite scary movie? Other things where I have to talk through video chat and Zoom to people and interview them. And the background that we've had in this house in the office downstairs, not great. It's either Doom posters, very reflective, or we hung up the old like Amazon curtains. I wanted something more customized, and so that's how we got this. And of course this has its own lighting setup. So I just hit the interview lighting, and you can see right here is the camera that'll be used for this. So this is the framing for the interview, and some of you may have seen this in action already. I've done some Patreon streams and such. This is an arm for a microphone, but I might swap this out for a shotgun mic. Here is something I just installed today. This is a little wheelie set for my keyboard and mouse. Originally, they're on this thing that floats because I wanted everything off the ground. But then we realized that if we're gonna be editing up here or gaming up here, it really kind of shakes a lot while you're using it. So, you know, we're constantly finding what needs to be changed to make things exactly how I want them to be. And so I'm just willing to make those changes to make my life as easy as possible to do things like this. The interview and the kill count with like minimal setup and effort. I'm really excited about this. What's really great is that with this space, I can use more of the props because I've gotten so many at this point that there are too many for the kill count set. So I can have some of the overflow over here and have some things like this awesome little nutcracker guy that a fan sent. Actually keep the note that they sent. Scotty Wolfenbarger, who makes horror-themed nutcrackers, and when I made a joke about the cop getting hit in the back of the head in Friday the 13th Part 2 and said he looked like a nutcracker, so he made me a nutcracker of him. I love it. And I love that he gets to live right back there on this set, along with a bunch of other really fun stuff, like that Lucy Funko Pop. That's really good. Okay, so you've seen the interview setup, you've seen the kill count setup, but what about when I go to the numbers? Obviously, practically, what I'll do is, silly thing, let's get to the numbers and walk off screen, right? But the numbers have always been filmed in front of a green screen. When we first moved into this house, that wall was painted for the kill count set, and this wall over here was painted for the green screen. It's just a green wall back there. Now, GoButton installed these panels that are in front of the wall, these gray stone-like panels, but behind this is a green painted wall. I wonder if you can see, oh yeah, here, come over here. They were so nice they even hung this, I didn't even ask for this, but they hung this to make it look nicer. This is the green screen wall that I would do all my to the numbers bits in front of ever since I moved to this house. Now, what we did was, and this is what I'm really excited about, and I'm hoping this works, because the thing with the green screen is, if you want to light it properly, you need space, and this is kind of a condensed space. As cool as it is, it's kind of condensed. But here's what we do for the green screen. I walk off, use this little prop hook, pull down this hanging green screen, which I had actually used at the apartment. This was part of the second version of the kill count set, which is probably the one that most people think of when they think of the kill count set, because that's what I had in 2018-19, which was when the channel was really hitting all the big series and a lot of people were coming in. So this was used then. It was not used when we first moved into the house, and I almost got rid of it, but I'm glad I didn't because we utilized it for this. So when it's time to do the numbers, I pull this down, but if you look on this monitor, obviously that doesn't look right? So what I do is at the simple click of a button, I change the HDMI input on that monitor to this second camera that's right here. If you didn't notice, we have two cameras with teleprompters in front of them for me to load the scripts here and then switch to the numbers here. Now I'm on the numbers camera, and all I have to do is hit the numbers light setup on this, go to my new mark, and now this is a little bit better for the lighting. We got a flat green light behind us. Obviously I'm not in focus right now, so we'd have to fix that, but this should be pretty good to key out. We're not getting too many shadows, nothing too dark, nothing's too overblown. I will have to watch, for instance, my hand going too far out of the green screen to this side, but that's what this monitor is for. It lets me know and see what my space is. In fact, I could even probably come over here to be more in the middle and have a little bit more range. But yeah, it is a smaller space, and that's maybe the one downside of this setup, but that's simply a restriction of having this interview space in the same room, because before, that was the green screen side of the room, and we had a little bit more maneuverability. But I think that this works great with what we have, and I just love that the ease of switching back and forth between these. So I'm just so excited to have this set, and really the goal of this is to make things easy on me. You know, make it easy to come in, record, get out, and get the footage to an editor so that it's just saving time being more efficient. The first kill count set, which we had from the Friday the 13th original episode to the end of the Leprechaun series, which actually coincided perfectly with the year 1 of Dead Meat and all the year 1 supercuts. That is the original kill count set. So that was when we lived in an apartment. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, and what I would do is nail those curtains up over the door to the second bedroom in the living room. And we had a single bookcase behind me on my right, frame left, and we would decorate it. But I would shoot it and then have to unnail the curtain when I was done because that was our living room. And so every kill count that I shot, I would have to then tear that down only to nail it back up the next time that we had to film. That gets really annoying when you're ready to shoot, but you have to spend a half hour setting everything up each time. That sucked. And for that green screen setup, I think we were on the other side of the apartment and it was a green cloth nailed up to the wall so that our dining area just had a constant green screen there. So, you know, the apartment was a nice apartment to live in, but to live and work in, it began to feel constricted, especially since I was using the living room space for the kill count. When I was done with the Leprechaun series, right as I started the Saw series, we moved to the second version of the kill count set. It was still in the apartment, but it was against the wall that had previously been the green screen in the dining area. So that gave me a bigger space, and it gave it a standing set that I wouldn't have to tear down and put back up every time I filmed the kill count. And again, that started with the Saw kill count and went all the way to, I think the Lighthouse was maybe the last episode that I filmed there. I know the Prowler was the first episode that I filmed in this room at the house after we moved. So whatever that stretch of time was, which I think remains the most kill counts on a single kill count set. That was a long stretch of time. And again, that's why I think people most associate that set with the kill count. That was when we moved on to the multiple bookshelves that were all decorated in a cascading pattern, with the highest one on the frame left being the featured area. And that was much better because we didn't have to tear it down, put it back up. We just nailed the spooky curtains to the wall behind there and they just lived there. But for that green screen area, that was when we had this in front of it. I would have to pull it down. But because we didn't have a really cool lighting setup with programmable sets and everything, I would have to move all the lights around. I think a lot of people saw me do some filming live streams there and would see what I would have to do when I was done filming the on-screen stuff for the kill count and then change all the lights around for the numbers. It was a pain in the ass. And since we also filmed the podcast there in front of that area, we didn't have a dining area. Half of the apartment was dedicated to Dead Meat, and there were always lights everywhere. And again, it just got really crowded. So in September 2020, we moved to this house after buying it. We love this house, it's great. And we converted 2 rooms into sets. And the first one for the kill count was the kill count set version 3. As I already described, it had the painted wall that Chelsea painted. But other than that, it was pretty much the same as the second kill count set. I think a lot of people didn't realize that those are different videos. If you look at the Prowler onward into those kill counts, that's an entirely different space than the ones that came before it. It just looks very similar because I used the same bookshelves, the same setup. I added more props, but really, you know, if you didn't notice that the wall was painted instead of curtains, you probably wouldn't notice that it was anything different. Obviously, that went until the Forever Purge, which was my final kill count that I filmed last year, and the 4th kill count set was set up in Zoran's basement, the temporary set, which he filmed all his episodes on, and that Chelsea went to film her American Psycho videos on. Those, we broke out the old Amazon curtains, nailed them up in Zoran's basement. I even gave him the bookshelves, the same bookshelves, to put in that basement and decorate. So it was kind of an emulation of the second kill count set, and again, looks pretty similar, only you would never know that it's in Zoran's basement instead. And then he had the other side of his basement used for the green screen setup. Thank you, Zoran, for letting your basement be that way for 6 months, man. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you have it back now and can store things in there and let your animals run around down there. I don't know, was there anything, James, that I mentioned that Ow! Chatterer? What the fuck, dude? This is a closet. This is actually a storage closet for all the other kill count props. It's still in the process of being organized. I actually had a live stream where I was starting to organize things, but you can see there are bins of bones and body parts, apparels, costumes, weapons, and a whole bunch of fucking Puppet Master puppets back there for whenever I eventually cover that series. But this is the Overflow Closet, bunch of masks on top there. And then if that wasn't enough, this, like I said, this is a bedroom in a normal person's house. So this is actually an ensuite bathroom, which is currently filled with costumes and more props. Here's another Billy. There's the Chucky box. Jesus Christ, this place is a mess. And it smells like fucking latex because of this little bastard. He looks great. He smells so bad. And we really need to, oh, it smells awful. I don't like that. Here, you know what? Let's show you the podcast room, even though Chelsea's not available to be on camera right now, but I just want to show off more of GoButton's work because they did such a magnificent job with this, and people who've been watching the podcast have seen in the past few months their amazing work in there. So let's go over there. Now I'm in the podcast room. This is the 4th podcast set. The first was in the office of our apartment, where we sat at separate sides of the room at our own computer desks with mics. That only lasted about 8 or 9 episodes, I think. Then we moved to the dining room table in front of the kill count set, which was the other thing. With that kill count setup, it was nice that I didn't have to change the curtains or anything, but the dining room table lived there, so every time I went to film a kill count, I would have to move that table, go there, set up the lights, shoot. So that sucked. But we were at that set for a very long time. The rest of the time we were in the apartment was in front of the kill count set. When we moved to the house, we actually shot against this wall with there's nothing left to see of it, but Chelsea had put a fake woodboard laminate, like sticky paper on the wall, and decorated that. And she nailed the aesthetic of what she was going for with the friend's basement that you would hang out with. And it was really cool, these chairs and everything, but it was just shot against the one wall. So it was kind of flat and restrictive with what we could do with it. Now, thanks to GoButton, we have 3 walls to work with. Now these are fake wood. I mean, they're real wood. They're obviously not, really thick wood paneling, but this is real wood. We nailed stuff up to it, and you can see that it comes out from the actual wall of the room. And what's great about what GoButton did is all this shit in this and the kill count set, we own now, and it's all removable. All these walls can be removed. And so if we ever decide that we want to turn these rooms back into bedrooms, because this was also a child's bedroom by the previous owners, we can take all this stuff down and move it to another space, which is really exciting. These squares that you see here and here, they're actually the pillars. So just like we had in the kill count room, we have these pillars, again, with a very strong supportive system here. And these are 2 of those sets just covered up, which I think is great because it adds more depth to the set and allows us to play around with the spaces. This is something that Chelsea, she bought the case and then made individually all these cassettes, like all of these individually were made by Chelsea. And when we made the new set, we realized just serendipitously, it fits exactly perfect in this space. That was not planned, that was not prearranged, but you know what? It was a sign that this was the right thing to do, make this set. And so now what I'm really excited about is we've got our setup, I sit here, Chelsea sits there, and now we have a 3-camera setup. So we have a camera on Chelsea, a camera on me, and a middle camera getting both of us. And back here is a little control station area that housemate Gressel sits at with a switcher that he can switch between the cameras, creating a live cut while we're filming. So that takes some of the editing work and does it real time while we're filming the podcast. He's switching, and then after that, we just have to edit and fine tune all the switches. This is a monitor that lets him see what all the cameras are doing. We don't have the laptop here, so I can't show you what it looks like. And this is the soundboard. And then that TV was for Chelsea and I to see what was going on when we did a game where we played clips in a recent episode. But yeah, this is, again, a very great setup that improves the efficiency of going to film. There are less things for us to have to set up each time we go to film nowadays. All we have to do is turn on the lights, plug in this guy for those lights, and then we're good to go. It's all set. And I really can't overstate how exciting it is to just inject this new life and freshness into these series that are, 4 and 5 years old. We love what they are and we're proud of what they are, but we're always looking to make things better while not, straying from the original intent of the shows. So we never want to make it feel like it's not the kill count anymore or it's not the Dead Meat podcast anymore. But we also don't want to just coast on how they are and feel as though there's no room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. And we think that these sets are a great way to improve the production quality of the shows without losing what makes them those shows. So I hope you're as excited as I am to see the new sets in action. The podcast has been using the new set for a while now, but the new kill count will be used in next week's episode, my return to hosting Stranger Things 3. Also, if you've been eyeing this shirt at all, this is some new merch available on deadmeatstore.com, our merchandise store, which is done through Rooster Teeth. So if you wind up searching for Dead Meat merch and you're on the Rooster Teeth site, you're actually in the right place. And you can get this Lucy the Cat Come to Do No Good shirt, along with some other shirts, all designed by Chelsea. She actually designed this all on a tablet. She is a very artistic person, much more than me, and I love her for that. But yeah, I think that's all there is to say about these new sets. I'm just fucking thrilled about it. It's one of the many things, like I said, that I did during my break from hosting. I know that a lot of people, not too many, but there were some who were like, why is James taking a 6-month break? I wish I could get a 6-month break from work. What a fucking lazy ass. You think I wasn't doing anything during that time when Zorn and Chelsea were hosting the episodes? No, man. I always have to be working on Dead Meat and making things better. And, you know, one of the things that I was doing during that time was getting that set arranged, and I think it was worth it. You know, I was also getting healthcare and retirement plans for our now 11 employees on payroll. We run a business, damn it, and that takes time and energy that I was able to commit to those processes thanks to stepping away from the kill count. But now I'm ready to be back, ready for more, and I hope you'll join me on the Stranger Things 3 kill count next week, Friday, June 17th. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks JamesCHATS for filming this, and I'll see you all on the next one. I can talk. Be good people.